Hello, hello, everybody. Hello. How are you today? Uh, Today we have Strigid. Strigid.
Hello.
uh, how are you?
I am all right. Doing good. Just woke up. How about you?
Fine, fine, quite fine. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a pretty cloudy day here, but yeah, the mood is okay.
Nice.
So,
Okay.
just a brief introduction. Who are you, and who is Strigid?
Well, my real name is Jake, and Strigid is just really, it's a thin veil. Like, I don't have a character or anything that I like try to play up, or like, well, I don't feel like I have a consistent enough character to think of the moniker as like this with wall between me and my music. But yeah, I don't know. It's just like sonic exploration, more on the kind of meaningful side of things, like as in like intentional meaning behind lyrics and stuff. Obviously, ambiguous. You can interpret it however you like, but um, you know, it's not just sound. It's also voice and anger, happiness, whatever emotions come up.
Yeah, because
So that's
you compose a lot of songs actually with a lot of lyrics, and yeah, I think
mhm.
we are going to talk about them during the stream because yeah, for me they are pretty
All right.
interesting.
All right, thank you.
Yeah.
Cool.
So today we are going to listen to your last album, which is called Indigo Sky Rapture, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
why this title? Just to ask.
Yeah, obviously, so this one's a pretty simple one. Like not a ton of meaning behind it. It's just I have really vivid dreams that were kind of have been on and off with how aggressive they were, and when I was writing most of this album, it was starting to hit me a lot. Like it was just like several months of just nonstop intense dreams, and the dreams are generally really not too colorful, but like a color that generally strikes me is the color of the sky, which is like this really deep blue. So indigo sky, and like dreams are rapture
Hmm.
incarnate. So you know,
Yeah.
yeah.
Nice. Cool. 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 So this album was released like I think in at the end of the 2019, right?
Yeah, yeah, I think so. I don't remember actually. I was thinking, I can't remember.
No problem. Well, hello to all the people: Simon, Nick, Seth, Kire, Audio Adventures, Lou. Thank you for being here. It's a pleasure to have you. And yeah, I think we can start with the first song. Is it okay?
Yeah, yeah,
Nice.
we can do this.
The first song, which is called Blue. Or I know I don't know if I spelled it right.
No,
Bl-
yeah, it's purposefully like a combination of the word blue as in the color and blue as in like blowing wind.
okay,
I
okay,
don't know. Yeah.
cool. Let's go with Blue.
Exchange a new name for our bread and our wine and our home.
This machine that runs on the oil of vegetables are now commendable.
I think it's a really good example of your music. This song, it's a good introduction. Uh,
Thank
I
you.
want to ask you, how do you approach the songwriting process? Do you write, for example,
Uh,
first the music and then the lyrics, or first the lyrics and then the music?
yeah, so it's um it's pretty polar. Like I feel like more often than not it's one of two things. It's like I'll come up with something generally, or a lot of lyrics I came up with in my car after coming home from work, and like just late at night because I used to work as a server. Um like during this time that I was still working at that job. But yeah, like I would just come up with the lyrics and then I would like just record it on my phone, and then I would come back to it later and then like sing it in the DAW with just a metronome, and then come up with, or like put it then sculpt the song around it. In this case, uh I think, yeah, this was one of the other cases where the lyrics came after the music, not necessarily, I feel like, prompted by the music. Like it didn't just come up to me. Like I had to sit there and spend like hours and hours of just improvising, because I don't like writing things down. I don't like writing lyrics actually down physically on paper because they always come out way too pretentious and way too wordy, and it doesn't flow normally. Like I don't use words that I would use in like normal conversation. So just things don't feel like me. So I've limited my lyricism to um like just sitting down with, or like usually standing up actually with the microphone and just having things on repeat and constantly recording until I get something. And this was one of those cases.
Cool. This is a pretty interesting process. I think
Yeah.
it's really something about your music and your art is the performing phase of it, the performing part of it. So yeah, basically, even when you are composing the lyrics, you are performing. This is interesting.
Yeah.
This is pretty interesting. I really like this approach. As you know, I'm also more of a performer than a composer, so I totally understand
Yeah. Yeah.
what's the process behind this idea. Yeah, cool,
Yeah.
cool. Okay, Kira is asking about the recording process behind the vocals. Do you record them outside of the studio or inside of a soundproof room?
Yeah, so actually I just for this album, except for a couple parts of um the and one song is recorded with like a handheld microphone, but everything's recorded using this. And I've tried recording this in a soundproof room. I've tried recording this in my closet, like in front of all the shirts, which is basically a soundproof room effectively. And I hate it. I hate the sound of this microphone. I regretted buying this for the longest time because I thought it just sounded like ass. But then I realized that I shouldn't, and I just pulled it out one day and I was like, I'm not gonna try to put this in front of anything. I'm just gonna see how it sounds regularly, just in a room, and it worked. And like you can hear a bit of. Also, I don't usually use headphones. I heard that first from Flood, who's the producer for Devo, I think,
Okay.
in like a Tape Op magazine, the one of the issues of Tape Op, and or not Devo. Oh God, someone's gonna correct me on that. I hope, but I don't know. So anyway, point is headphones, like when you're hearing the music through the headphones, it is another degree of separation from that feeling of performance. So I'll just have the speakers on and my headphones, which makes it really hard to perform if there's anyone else around or if I was at my dorm, because you know, like dorms are basically just apartments, and people don't like. Well, whatever. People are generally loud. So anyway, I digress. It's just it's just in a room, not soundproof, because personally, this microphone I think sounds terrible in a soundproof room.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nick is asking bad questions. I don't want to read them. um, Flood like 9 Inch Nails, says Kire. 9 Inch Nails,
Yeah,
maybe.
yeah, I think, man, hold on, I just want to.
Yeah.
I could see the album cover. Ugh, no, they are. Okay, whatever. It's okay.
Okay, so maybe we can listen to the second track, which is called That Mollusk Feeling. Mollusk?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Sorry, I'm going to ask you a lot about pronunciation because some things, there are some words that I've never saw before, so
Yeah.
I have
Okay.
my Italian accent and yeah, trying to translate it in an English pronunciation.
Yeah.
But, okay, That Mollusk Feeling.
Yes.
Let's go.
was to me. I could go on and on about all the things you never said. Through gritted teeth, you never spoke of how the Russian letter that sounds like two consecutive O's. How that letter looks like a fish. How dare you? How dare you? Skills, isn't it weird how fish just open themselves up? Or perhaps it's just the fact that the gills have no teeth behind them. I never say that either. How it must have felt to breathe the water. Oh, how it must have felt to cruise through the vast expanse of darkness. Not supposed to feel.
That was intense. But all this
you.
album is intense. For the people who doesn't know it, it's super intense. I was I wanted to ask you about the a characteristic of your music that I really like, which is the grotesque, this kind of extreme feeling, and at the same time this irony, because there is a lot of, I think, also irony side of this. Yeah, I don't know what I'm trying to say, sorry. But the idea
No,
is,
yeah.
yeah,
No, I
there
think
is
those
a
work.
lot of grotesque in your music. And how do you approach to this concept, this idea? It's one of the idea that you are trying to reach, or it's just my feeling of it?
Yeah, I mean, grotesquerie is like, I think it's at the core of um a lot of yeah, I don't know. Grotesquerie isn't like the first word that I would come to, but I guess it makes sense. Um it just like I try to reflect as much as I can on the human condition, but in a more personal sense. Like I try not to presume too much, or because I'm only one American with one single experience through life, and I've only read books and met a couple people here and there, and I don't know everyone else's experience. So assuming that it can be just the human condition is kind of pretentious, but at the same time, yeah, I try to open my mind as much as I can, and yeah, reflect on what it means to be conscious, and um and like all the hypocrisies that come with it. So yeah, like and I feel really attached to this like representation of like American kind of like middle class white people, which is probably the most that I've had in touch with as far as like so like being uncomfortable in those situations, just like and these are the people that are kind of like helping or causing a lot of grief in a way, like in social grief in America is definitely caused a lot by that kind of sector of humanity, because it's just where a lot of the bigotry and the hatred and stuff comes from. So just like witnessing that as a white person, I feel like it can definitely be like your people feel like they're comfortable around you enough to be like racist and just terrible and like misogynists and like yeah, just all around bigots, and it's yeah, I don't know, really unsettling. So that is definitely probably like something that I would relate to grotesquerie, is capturing that.
Hmm. Hmm. So you are talking about this world also in your music. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. There's definitely fantasy as well,
Hmm.
I think. Yeah.
Yeah, that's also one of the characteristics of grotesque. It's so
Yeah.
extreme that it becomes unreal, but at the same
Right. Right.
time,
Right.
it describes the reality better than the reality itself sometimes.
Right. Right. Right.
Cool. The next track is Harvest Time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's go.
Endless corpses lying on the ground, like ears of corn ready for harvest time. I thought you knew. I thought you knew. I thought you knew. 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 No! 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 No!
A lot of questions in the chat. We
Yeah,
are,
yeah. See you, Simon.
yeah. We can just yeah start answering to
Yeah.
yeah. Would you describe your work as political, or is that not what it's about?
Yeah, as I was saying, as like sometimes it is, sometimes it isn't. Like I think at the core of a lot of my experience, there's a lot of time for like reflection on political ongoings in the world. So, sometimes it's far more political than I want it to be, but I try as much as I can to keep it at like less preachy because of course there's a lot of hardcore music and a lot of political music in general that's just super, I'm sitting here with the microphone and I'm going to tell you what to believe, and it's like no. It's like no one wants that. Not even, doesn't matter how good the political opinion is, it still isn't fun. So if it's political, it's generally more of like a, I don't know, like an all-encompassing problem or something. I don't really subscribe to idealism, and that's my main problem with politics in general. So yeah.
Then there is a more technical question. How do you approach double tracking improvised vocals?
I So this track, I can see why you would come to that conclusion because there is like specific panning sections and there's an effect on the vocal that makes it sound doubled, but generally I don't double vocals unless it's for an effect. Like this song, it's like kind of like two people talking to each other, and I'm trying to illustrate that. Uh, Not to fuck up anyone's idea of what that was supposed to mean, but whatever, I just ruined that. Sorry. But like, it yeah, it's generally an idea. If I have the idea to do doubled vocals, it's just I came up with it before it happened, so I'll just record like a rough version of it and then clean it up later if it needs to be, or sometimes I won't re-record things and just keep the improvised track. Like a lot of vocals, I'm just like, I don't want to remove this because it's like the original performance, and like you can, if you mute all the instrumentals, you can actually hear me thinking and like going, like, or like leaning into the thought of saying the word, or like saying two words in one. There's a couple instances of that because I just come up with two words at the same time and I just choose the last one at the last second. Um, and like I don't know, it's not for, it's just because I like the performance more than I like the the grittiness of it. It's just more because I don't feel like having to capture that exact same performance again. Yeah.
Yeah. I wanted to ask you another question.
Yeah,
What are
sure.
your reference point? What are your usual listening, or your, your starting point about music and this kind of music that you are producing and composing now?
Yeah, so I think I mentioned it before, but like a lot of like the first band that made me want to make this kind of music and shook up, because I had this like weird thing where I was like, I'd already listened to some sample based music and music that used drum machines and stuff, and I was like, that's great, but like I hate most of other of it. Like, and I don't like the idea of it. And then I heard street sects because they have this approach to kind of industrial music and like that it's like, similar to Ministry or like Nine Inch Nails or something in a way, like, but it's far less cheesy,
Hmm.
and the lyrics and the journey that the music takes you through is super genuine, and it just has, yeah, I don't know. That was the first reference point for me as like, I'm gonna try this. Like that, my first track that I ever made was completely inspired by their first full length album, and so yeah, I feel like that's the biggest reference point.
Cool. I never listened to them. I will go after
Yeah,
this stream.
check it, check them out.
Totally. The next song is called Cliffs, right?
Yes, Cliffs.
Okay, let's go with Cliffs.
You know, you finally spat on me in my dreams, and got what I deserve, what I earned. A transaction of transgression, like cherry blossoms falling down, so beautiful, so beautiful. Oh, here I go again, peeling back my skin. Living the only thing that I know that keeps me going. Feeling sorry for myself. You know, I finally forgave you in my head. I saw what you did. Reminds me of how I was wrong. I was so wrong, so betraying who I am now. I was in almost every way disgusting, so disgusting. Shut up, shut up, shut up, shut up, shut up. What is wrong with you? I'm sorry. That's a question easily asked but never answered. What's the crowd gonna think when you turn over and drink your sorrows? Crowd in your hand, miles of everything you have to do and have to be.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Seth is asking, what effect do you use for the glitchy stutter effect on the vocals at the beginning there, in this last track, I think. It was so strange when I
Oh,
was trying to learn it to cover, because I kept thinking about that. Okay. Really precise
of
question.
Cliffs.
Yeah, I think
Oh
so.
God, hold on. Let me go back and I don't remember what glitchy effect at the beginning. Hold on.
There's a,
I'm
a
sorry. I don't.
there's like a little moment. I think it happens only once, so it's super.
Wow. You might have uh made me realize something about my own mix. Let me check.
Hello, Foot.
What? What? I'm gonna need more confirmation on that because I don't. It's just I don't know. I don't know. That's yeah.
Well, right set
Sorry.
about this.
Yeah. Yeah, put a pin in it, and then maybe we'll figure it out by the end of the stream.
Ah. Um, so, another question that I was thinking to ask you. I really like how you play with the dynamic of the track. It's pretty easy when you create such kind of music, having like this huge wall of sound. It's super easy to do, but I really like the
Hmm.
balance between the different dynamics inside of your tracks. For example, I don't remember if it's the second one or the first one. There is yeah, some really low volume moments, a lot of silence. How do you approach this
Hmm.
kind of balancing between really high volumes, really low volumes, noise and silence? What's your workflow with these two weights in the composition?
Yeah. I don't. Uh, I think the hardest part is mixing it, and then also doing what rudimentary mastering I can manage on my own, so people don't uh turn up their volume and die, and it gets the harder part. So I don't the problem is I don't think about it when I'm doing it in composition. It's generally just like I like silent parts. I like quiet parts. I don't like a sausage. I don't like looking at a sausage. Um and I don't like hearing a sausage. So I that's just that's just a strange thing to take out of context, by the way. But yeah, I just don't like hearing a track that's all one volume. Uh, so yeah, I don't know. That's pretty much just it. I don't like it, so I won't do it.
That's a good reason.
Um, yeah, yeah, exactly.
Nice. Hmm.
Yeah.
The next song is called Pansy, right? Pansy,
Yes.
am I right?
Thanks.
Uh, are there any stories behind the songs?
Uh, like the songs that we've um come up to at till this point.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Cliff's was about two separate dreams where people that I like um one of the person that like I treated very poorly and they actually spit on me, as it says in the lyrics, not to ruin anything there, but yeah, it's just I had someone actually spit on me in my dreams, and I deserved it, so I was like eh. And then someone like who like I had a really weird relationship, like friendship with, and there was just always this ton of tension because they're kind of a dick, but they're also kind of a really nice person. So I don't know if you've ever had a friend who's a yeah. Anyway, point is like in the dream, we got just we got closure about all of our disagreements, and it's weird when you wake up from that kind of dream and it's so vivid and it involves so directly real people and things that you actually want to happen, and then you wake up feeling as if it's a real memory, but it's only just a dream, and it kind of sucks because it's like, oh man, I wish I don't know, I wish what should happen kind of should, but eh, things are left unaccounted for. And um yeah, there's like a couple like that mollusk feeling is inspired also by kind of by interpersonal relationships and uh a uh an Italo Calvino short story. So
Oh, okay.
yeah.
Nice. Yeah, I really like Italo Calvino. I have a degree in Italian literature, so
Oh, I never knew that. That's really cool.
Yeah.
Did you have a focus area like that?
Yeah, contemporary
Was it
literature.
that era? Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Nice. Sweet.
Anyway, Pansy.
Yes.
You got your flowers in your armpits. Prepare yourselves, we're going to war, we're going to war, we're going to war. Gotta protect our ritual subsidies and petrol. Hooks growing from chins. That's what's in, that's what's in. Crooks lowering the standards of the neighborhood. They're in. Years of painting with purple, and that's all that sticks. All the Innsmouth fucks and their elite stares from the bridge of their nose to your childhood shortcomings. Like a laser from their eyes, stings and stinks like burning fur. But you don't have any fur. You're not a wild animal. Shave every day.
Hmm. Quite different from the other songs. So this one is, yeah.
Yeah. It is a lot of people like it apparently. I remember sending this to a couple friends who were like iffy about my music, and they were like, "Oh, finally one of your songs that I actually really like." And I was like, "Oh, thanks, guys." It's just so sad. But yeah, it's a very delicate song.
Yeah, because it's it's kinda cute, kinda,
Yeah.
but at the
Yeah.
same time, it's it's like those cute, but in a strange way. I think it's
Yeah,
kind of
right.
misunderstood. It's not really so cute, but yeah.
Uh-huh. Oh, thank you. That's cool.
Seth is asking, how long does it normally take you to make a track?
So this one like took I mean, this was in like a window of a week, I think. I didn't really touch this one up. I All the ideas came out at once, and Rygar's another one that just happened in like 2 days, and I didn't touch it after that, other than like some basic mixing. And then sometimes it takes the entire course of working on the album, so like 8, 9 months. So very depends on the track. And unfortunately, it's not due to the complexity or the breadth of the track. It has to do with just my relationship to where I was when I started working on the sounds. So, like some of these tracks I was working on right as I was finishing um Moonrise, and like they were basic ideas that I was trying to like focus on, like making specifically kind of happy instrumental music, and obviously that is not where the album ended. So I was like like so yeah, like there are some tracks that were just completely trash even though I was working on them for several months, you know. So yeah.
And how or when a track is finished for you?
Mhm. When the deadline is, well, like not obvious, like not especially like what I just said with this song. Like it was just, but that, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, when the deadline of the album is, like so I'll set personal deadlines for my own projects, like, and I'll just go like I want this here, and then like that's it. Like I just come up with couple tracks that I have at the time, and then I feel like there's a common thing connecting all of them, or a way to connect all of them, and then I set a deadline, and I come up with a name for the album, and then that's when everything is done. Like there are still times where I'm like questioning the track, and I don't really know it's done until I put it on Bandcamp. So yeah.
Hmm. Hmm. Are you working on something new in this moment?
Uh, yeah, but like nothing with a deadline yet,
Okay,
unfortunately. Yeah.
we'll see.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, next song is called Purple. Purple. Which is, I guess it's like, as the first track, like a combination of two
Yeah.
words, right?
Poor and purple. Purple.
You really like this kind of combos.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know, they're just funny to me.
So, do you like to play with words?
Yeah. Totally. It's fun. I think language is fun when it can be fun. Um, really like really fun when it can be fun. I mean, it's funny, it's joke, happy times.
Purple.
Yeah.
movie. Super. It's like a dance track.
Yeah.
Really like the I think you make a lot of instrumental music too, not only songs, right?
Hmm.
Do you have
Yeah,
other
especially yeah.
Do you have other projects in which you are involved and yeah, you make instrumental music?
Nah, well, I guess Dick Girl can kind of but that's not like the main focus of it. Like Lou and I just released the first album because we wanted to release an album and I had an idea for it and I didn't want to do it alone. And it's easier to release instrumental music than it is. Well, that's not necessarily true, but maybe for me it is to release instrumental music than lyrical music. But uh yeah, so no other projects.
Uh, did you ever played in another band, in a band or?
Yeah, yeah, in high school I was definitely one of those kids in a rock band. I we were a solid band for a year. Like
Hmm.
we had talked about it for like 6 months and then finally met up and we were supposed to do like this White Stripes kind of thing and then it just evolved into noise rock and I didn't even really know what noise rock was at the time, so it was very confused and then I had to move to another state, so that kind of prompted that to just get cut off. And yeah, it was fun. I liked it because it taught me discipline with music without academia because we practiced 4 times a week at the
Oh.
very least, every time after work or school, whatever was at the day, because I had a weird schedule at high school. So I was able to come like to his house and we would just jam for hours and and rehearse and stuff and write, record. It's fun.
Cool. Are you interested in playing with other people in the future?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I'm it's never. Oh yeah, and by the way, as Nick pointed out, I meant Dick Girl, I guess, because it's not an instrumental project. Yes, of course it's a real project. But it's an like an ongoing project, but it's not specifically instrumental, and I was just trying to answer that question. But anyway, like yeah, I definitely am not. I'm yeah. So when I first moved up to Massachusetts from Maryland, I was constantly looking on Craigslist on like bands in town, or not bands in town, whatever the American band meetup service is, like I like LinkedIn, everywhere. I was like desperately trying to connect with people. I had only set up like a couple appointments and they were like nothing ever went like to actually meeting people.
Hmm.
I did everything except for going out to shows and talking to people because I suck at that. But like I mean I go out to shows, I just keep to myself because I'm awkward. But like yeah, so I try I've from that experience I've learned to just not look for it and let it happen naturally because it's just I don't know, that's it's more fun that way, I guess. Less stressful.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Hmm. So what we have next? Leech Street or
Yeah.
Leech Street? Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hmm. What is leech? Sorry, because my vocabulary is super
No, it's okay.
thin.
So leech is like the animal that is kind of like in the water. I don't know. Are they like worm? They're like an annelid. Yeah, they're annelids. And they suck on your skin or any
Okay.
animal skin. Yeah.
Okay. Let's listen to it.
Yeah.
Interesting twist in the end of the track.
Hmm.
That piano, that piano.
Yeah.
Do you use a lot of acoustic instruments, or do you prefer to? This piano is a synthesizer or a software, or it's like
Yeah,
a real
yeah.
piano?
No, yeah, I don't use real pianos because hard to record, and I have access to real pianos at school plenty of times, but recording with them, even though they're in practice rooms and soundproofed rooms, well, that's part of the problem is that they're in a soundproof room and it just sounds dead and ew, and not alive. They you can also hear like other people slamming on pianos and doing whatever the fuck else. And like obviously I'm not judging. I've done pretty weird stuff. Plenty of weird and disruptive stuff in a practice room at my
I
school, so
remember a
no
few
no
of the
shit.
things that you did with like microphones and microwaves, and
Yeah. I wouldn't do that on school property, but yeah, I've done like, practice this kind of music and like screaming and stuff in the practice rooms while other people are around. So again, no shade. Uh,
so you use mostly software instruments, right? Right.
yeah, yeah. I think if it's not software, it's like an odd thing that I sampled. Um, Like there's this bell in harvest time. There's this little glass bell
Wow.
somewhere hidden in the mix. And yeah, but mostly everything is software. And as Nick was asking if I use mostly soft synths, yeah, I use Serum a lot because it was the first thing that I could find that was pretty cheap for wavetable and like FM synth when I was starting out with like synth and sample based music. And it's great. It's powerful.
And also, what
Yeah.
other instruments do you use a lot? Is asking Kira.
Um. Drum machine samplers, specifically the Electron Mark II, and keyboard to control whatever sampler synthesizer, and um not like I haven't used a ton of like I just have one like actual oscillator module for modular synthesis, and yeah, most everything is just like scavenged samples and samples that I make.
Nick and Seth are curious about the piano plugin that you used in this
Oh
album.
yeah, the it just came with my first MIDI keyboard that I bought. It's the She's the 88 Keys by, oh god, I can't remember. uh yeah, Sonny Vox. So Sonny Vox. 88 Ensemble 2. I used that because it just was free with my old MIDI keyboard. And it sounds pretty decent as a pianist. It sounds alright.
Yeah. Okay. What we have next? We have Ryger.
Yeah, Rygar. It's not a
Rygar.
real word, so it's
Okay.
however you want.
Rygar, which is, I think, is also the longest one in the album. Okay, yeah, it's the longest one.
Yeah.
Rygar.
And the storm sun to the pavement, to the pavement. Enjoy those seats of his to be wide. I am, and you claim we are the same.
Okay. Here they are asking what's the story behind the title of this track?
Rygar is well, like yeah, it's I think I just took the Middle English word for rock, just like Rykar or something, and I made it. Yeah, just rock. It's like a
Okay.
name of rock.
Okay. And also Seth is asking if yeah, because he noticed a lot of rhythms on the album are swung and loose. Is there any
Yeah,
quantizing
so
involved or is just live?
um this one specifically I had performed part of it on samplers and the other part was just keyboard, and then I broke it out over like all the synth sounds, like so it's like kind of like orchestration almost but with synths. um and yeah, so there's definitely some stuff that I intentionally did not quantize because didn't feel like it. And yeah, so like sometimes I'll like instead of sitting down with a performance like for 50 takes, I'll just like move over the 2 or 3 MIDI notes that are off like a millisecond so it gets that right timing, but not like perfect. Obviously I never line anything up to the grid. I generally just like slide things with like free slide instead of snapping them to the grid, because it always sounds terrible when you just snap it. So yeah, and there's another song, um I can't remember. I think I'll remember when I hear it. That is like pretty much all just piano broken out, orchestrated across the different synths, and there was no metronome in the beginning. So if you ever try to line that up, it will sound terrible, and I'll
Yeah.
be a bad musician, and you'll expose me.
Don't tell to your teachers.
Yeah. Oh God, no. Yeah.
um, hmm. Overgrowth is the next one.
Yeah.
Overgrowth. That was intense.
Thank you.
A question.
Sure.
Do you listen to a lot of harsh noise? What's your
Yeah.
opinion on harsh noise? What's your, the idea of noise?
Yeah. I love it. Like at this point, there was, when I was writing this album, there were very few artists that I like could really feel, and I was, I was really connected to those artists, but like it's nothing like I know now. Like I know far more about harsh noise than when I started, which was like a little bit before this. So, yeah, I love harsh noise, and it's amazing.
Okay. I'm running a little bit right now because the time is running too.
Oh, yeah,
So yeah, we have
yeah.
like
Sorry about that.
40 minutes. So I'm trying to make it to make some question and to listen to all the things, obviously.
Yeah.
So yeah, now we have Plimbo. Why
Plimbo.
Plimbo? What does this means?
It was a funny word that I made up, and it like has to do with the story in the song. It's a
Okay.
town called Plimbo.
A town called Plimbo. Okay. Let's go and visit this town.
Yeah.
There once was a story of a town called Plimbo, which was the literal playpen of a demented boy whose name shall remain undisclosed throughout the remainder of this program for the preservation of his complete anonymity. And in that pen, many stories unfolded while he played with toys, his action figures and the like, forced the men together until a homosexuality formed, and that's all we knew. The sink turned everyone to be really, really, really gay. Say, Commander, do you want to play? Play with my butt, my butt, my butt. It's only gay if we kiss, 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 it's only gay if we like it. We don't do it 'cause we like it, we do it 'cause we have to. We don't have tenderness, tell a bill, voluntary.
Oh, okay. I must confess that I didn't listen to this album for a long time. I listened to it when it was released, and I didn't remember very well everything. I didn't remember this song, and yeah, it's such a great rediscovery of it.
Yeah, it's no
Great
worries.
job. I really
A
loved
lot of
also.
albums out there.
Yeah, I really loved the build up in the middle. And wow, okay, great man, super. Calp.
Thank you.
Analog asked, do you care how much listener apprehend the meaning of your work, or do you like to leave it open to interpretation?
So when you guys ask me questions, I feel bad going like, "Fuck you." I don't want to tell you because you're my friends. Like I don't want to be mean and like I don't want to tell you no. So like if you guys ever ask me questions about that, like I won't dodge the question. I'll just try to give you like in the middle of vaguity and like sincerity. So but yeah, I don't care. If you can interpret it however you like. There's definitely vagueness and ambiguity within the lyrics intentionally for that reason, because I want people to take their own meaning from it, and also it's just more fun that way for me when I'm writing it and when I'm like choosing which words to take out and which words to try to come up with, you know,
Hmm.
more fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The next one is Queen Bee. The Queen Bee. Let's go with this one.
Have you ever looked at the sand that we burrow under? It's weak, it's insufficient, menacingly short, lackluster, so weak. Don't take for granted what we're given, banging to shape what we must host. The only things we're surely meant to work with, create and be with. Swimming through. It's such a beautiful thing that we make, you and I, my love. These babies, the houses on the prairie, the cars and totes they carry. Pure muscle by proxy, it's also lovely. I implore you, neighbor, to keep your wife's grandfather in mind. The microfilial elite is important. Yeah. Oh, someone else, not even your great-grandchildren. Will overflow like these piles of meat that we call villages.
Yeah, sorry, I'm reading the chat just to.
No, that's good.
to see if there are any other questions. Okay. What I wanted to ask you. Hmm. Um, have you ever made live performances? Have you ever made live performances of your music? I saw some live streams, but have you ever made some live performances in front of an audience?
Yeah, only a couple times, and unfortunately, just through my school, which is very awkward. Because this music is not necessarily a very, but whatever. Like, I played this queer arts festival for my school, and that was fun.
Hmm.
Um, because it's the most amount of people that I'll ever play for in a very long time, I'm sure. Like, it was around 70, 80 people, and they were all just very confused about what was happening. I tried to, like, and there wasn't really any pretense. No one really knew me. I also felt weird because, you know, like, I hoped they didn't just think I was just some, you know, straight person that was trying to ride on the fact that it was an arts festival and scream in their faces. But yeah, I tried to you know, keep my composure and like, yeah, that was weird. And then I performed for like a coffee house recently with like this track that I haven't released yet. So yeah,
Would you like to perform
not.
more?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I've been sending out emails since Moonrise came out, and unfortunately, I've only come up with a couple emails saying no. Um, because it's hard to do it without a booking agent and hard to do it without connections. I have something lined up for the future. Obviously, with quarantine and the pandemic, uh, God knows when it was. It was supposed to be in November, but
Okay.
yeah, we'll
Uh,
see.
yeah, it's something that affects all of us. So yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah, yeah.
also was
I'm not.
planning.
I'm not complaining. It's yeah,
Yeah, I also had a lot of. Yeah, I would like to make a lot of stuff, and I have also some plans, but
with Le
we'll
Tour
see.
Electronique, I'm guessing.
Yeah, we were planning a festival for this
Oh
summer, but
man,
yeah,
yeah,
it happens.
sucks. Yeah.
Um,
Are you
and
guys able to actually? I had a question, not to derail things. Are you guys like writing remotely together at all, or anything
uh,
like that?
right now, yes, we are composing and recording an album. Uh,
Nice,
we
awesome.
released two songs yet, so yeah, we are releasing them while they are finished. So
Hmm.
it would be a pretty short album, I think, like half an hour maybe, or between
Oh,
half an
okay,
hour and
cool.
40 minutes, which is pretty strange for us because like an improv band, we are used to like hyper long tracks. So
Yeah, right.
and
Yeah.
also it's strange because it's the first time we actually compose something, because usually we just
Ah,
have free improvisation.
ah. Mm.
So it's an experiment.
Yeah,
But yeah, the
nice.
results are quite nice. I like it.
Yeah,
So we'll see.
yeah. I'm
We'll
glad
see.
you guys are still working. Great, great stuff.
Okay, let's move on and
Yeah.
let's listen to Plentiful. Right? Yeah, Plentiful.
Uh huh.
Okay, let's go.
Contents of the green fire soaking in the soil now, hoping it grows well. Alright, to follow the manual. Alright, now it's just time to wait for your elemental to form. You can do a little dance if you want to, if you want to. You could draw the face that you think will grow out of your catalytic structure. The beautiful faces, feel free to send them in. We'll choose the best and share them in the next publication. Don't be shy, it's worthwhile experience for your babies who are destined for popularity. You don't know the best players go wherever they can, wherever they can, wherever they can.
Here Nick is spamming the chat with his requests.
Yeah.
I won't read them, Nick. Or why not? Well, yeah, maybe we can do something together in the future. Who knows?
Yeah. Yeah.
I think it will be fun.
Yeah. I definitely am down.
Nice. Hello, Ben. Welcome in the stream. Welcome. Much appreciation for this album from Ben.
Yes, thank you, Ben. Thank you very much.
Okay. Bosquecito. Okay, this is an interesting title. What does it mean?
Yeah. It's Little Forest. Thank you, Lou. Helped me. I always like the word bosque, which is Spanish for forest. And when I was working on it and like I was sending him tracks, I was like, how do you make it like diminutive? Because like Lou was just going over diminutives with me like a couple weeks before I had asked him, and so yeah, Little Forest, Little Baby Forest.
And why this title?
I just like forests,
Okay.
and to me, feels like a forest. Yeah, I don't know.
Cool. Okay.
Love forest. Yeah.
Little Forest. Okay, let's listen to it. The Little Forest.
Yeah.
Nick is asking if ghosts are real.
I think I'll only subscribe to that if it's well established in the ghost believers community that there are bacteria ghosts, tree ghosts, plant ghosts, everything. I want everything to be a ghost from thousands and thousands and thousands of years ago. Little trilobite ghosts. I don't want just human ghosts. Human ghosts are boring. I want all the other ghosts. So
Totally.
yeah.
Human ghosts are
Dinosaur ghosts.
the worst.
Yeah. Of all the ghosts, of all the things that could be ghosts, really? Humans? Come on. Come up with something better than that.
Okay, so we are quite near to the end. Just 2 tracks left.
Yeah.
The next one is Light Nunki.
Yeah.
What is a Nunki?
A Nunki is a type of, is a star. It's an actual star.
Oh, okay.
It's in the Sagittarius constellation. So I think it's in the northern quadrant. You can Google it and get some more information on that.
Okay, Light Nunki.
Yeah.
Oh, great finale.
Yeah. I thought it'd be funny. I don't know. I actually this is one of those tracks that like took forever to get all of the sounds right. I don't know. My question to you is, do you have like tracks that you're like eternally like somehow dissatisfied with, like how long it either took you to come to like a sound design decision, or like I don't know, just the track itself, like all like something not being completely like right. I don't know. Do you ever
Yeah,
have
yeah.
that?
Usually it happens. Usually it happens. Not quite often, but sometimes it happens. Yeah, it's pretty. Well, in that cases, I just let it sit down for
Yeah.
a long period, like 1 month or 2 months, if it's not something that I need to release quickly, of course. And then I just leave it here and just try to forget it completely. And yeah, so actually it works. It works most of the times for me,
Yeah.
at least. Yeah, yeah. I saved a couple of track with this with this strategy. I saved some
Yeah.
mixes with this strategy.
Yeah.
Well, we are at the last track.
Yes.
And yeah, we were talking about forgetting, and this track is called Forget. Pale Iron Speaks One. Or Speaks I. No, Speaks One.
No, it's one.
Okay, it's like the first part of something else,
Yeah.
of a
Yeah.
bigger composition.
Yeah, it's like it's an ongoing story that I've had like since I was in the band in high school. Like it's just this ongoing story that I've wanted to just keep developing because it's so like I can see it so vividly in my head, all it playing out, and I just want to I don't want it to die, so I put a little asterisk so I can always go back to it and not feel bad about it because it's right there.
Okay, Forget, Pale Iron Speaks
Yeah.
One.
Outsourcing your knack of people. Keep that smell out of the town square. It's not proper, I swear. I'll tell you what, Timmy, I'm a proper family man, so I'm gonna tell you. That man has bacteria, you can't let him around. Our cats and our dogs are lovely things that we love to put our paws on. You know what, Timothy? There are quite a lot of people going around saying that we need to medicate our dogs and cats. And they're quite alright on their own. Their tongues allow them to be impervious to such things. We can't afford such medicine. Cultures like you in the wild, make their brothers great. Food of contention, the food of invention.
I really loved this final super emotional melody inside of the song. It's a perfect
Thank you.
ending for an album, I think. Yeah, good job.
Thank you.
So yeah, I wanted to ask you, what about the artwork? Who did it? And is there any concept behind it, or not?
So Morir is a Mexican street artist and tattoo artist. He also goes by oh god, I'm blanking on his alternative name. But if you just put in like the credit that is on his Instagram, you'll find his Neto Rabier. Neto Rabier is his other
Okay.
name. And that's his like tattoo account. So I approached him when I didn't even have the album finished. Like when I knew I wanted the and I saved up the money to offer like give him an offer, and then I had like made the deadline. So I approached him about it. I was like, I'm not good with coming up with album covers. I will pay you extra, and with this in mind, just like I'll give you the drafts that I have right now for the music. Please come up with something. I'll give you like some basic references of pieces of yours that I really enjoy. So can you please design and make them like come up with the concept itself? Because like personally for me, my approach to album artwork should always be from like at least with Strigid should be from an outside source, because like album artwork is something that an outsider sees and an outsider will relate to the interpretation of the music. So I feel like in my musical journey, that's how it should be made, is it should be an interpretation of an outsider because it is meant to do that. So like it is meant to pull in an outsider. So yeah, it's always been me approaching someone with like a basic idea of like, this is what the album is about, and here are some drafts. Can you please just use your style and your amazing like approach to this artwork that I really love? I'm sorry. And then here's your money. Like that's it. um yeah, but I think it did an amazing job with like it feels like someone's falling and like kind of, I mean, it looks almost like a sleep paralysis figure, and it's very grotesque
Yeah.
and yeah, crazy.
Yeah, it's super cool. I really like it. It's
Yeah.
very, very strong.
Yeah.
Well, I think we are at the end of this
Yeah.
wonderful session.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
Thank you too for talking with us and
Yeah.
giving us an in-depth look at your work and listen to. I think it's super cool to listen to the music with the artist and have the possibility to talk with him or her about his
Yeah.
work. It's super cool. It gives
Yeah.
a
Thank
lot,
you.
I think, to the listener. Especially if it's just experimental music. I think it's a good way of approaching it.
Yeah, I've liked the sessions so far, and greatly enjoyed being a part of one. So thank you very much for that.
Thank you too.
Keep going, man. You're doing great stuff.
I'll do it. And thank you to all
Yeah.
the people who are here, who are listening, who are enjoying, who are asking questions. Without you, this is just a chat between me and Jake. But it's
Yeah.
it's thanks to you all. It's amazing,
Yeah.
great experience.
Thank you.
Well, just a couple of things before leaving, and
Sure.
in 3 hours there is going to be the premiere of the third session of the project Parallel, which is a project by me, Orsuge Tataki, Foot and Analog Weapon, who is hiding in the chat right now. And yeah, don't forget to join the premiere. It's the third session, so it's not the last one, but the last before the last one. So don't miss it. On the Magpie Pirates YouTube channel, of course. And yeah, see you tomorrow. And thank you again, Jake.
Yeah, thank you.
Have a nice day. Bye.
Bye. See ya, everyone.
See ya.